It's 34 degrees outside, which I hate, but it's also snowing, which I also hate. But all of this weather is putting me in a really good Christmas cheer, as you can probably see by my lights. But I'm really excited about this festivities. And this week, we're actually finally getting Black Ops 7 Zombies, which I'm extremely excited about, cautiously. Now, today, because I am in a good Christmas cheer, I do want to go into all the things that I'm looking forward to about Black Ops 7 Zombies. And I'm going to be very honest and real with you. I'm very cautious about a lot of things, but I also did give my opinions and my thoughts over on everything you should be concerned about when it comes to Black Ops 7 Zombies. I'm going to link that right up here as well. So if you're ready to get into all the things, I'd love to hear your guys' excitement down below in the comments around like my thoughts today of what I'm excited about. And if you're excited about anything else, let me know. This video might get a lot of hate. I'm okay with that. But I think these are going to be very real points. So let's get right into today's video. So I want to go ahead and start off with the fact that like I am still here creating content and playing zombies because I do believe that Black Ops 7 Zombies can be fun. I think there is a lot of disgusting marketing fluff and hype out there. There are a lot of lies. There are a lot of manipulation and the monetization and all of this stuff. Like a lot of the things that I talk about like is mostly around Treyarch, Call of Duty, Activision just being a big company and really prioritizing profits over good gameplay. But I do think that there is a good game in here, right? Like I'm not out here just out of blind trust playing this game and just believing in them, right? I do believe that Black Ops 7 Zombies can be fun again. I do think so, right? I feel like if Black Ops 7 Zombies feels good, like if they can make the guns hit hard, right? They can make these rewards feel well paced as well instead of giving us everything up front and then having nothing else later on. I think it'll be back. I feel like they are trying to be a little bit risky right now, but I actually no, but this is a good video. So like I can honestly forgive a lot of like that corporate style fluff or that corporate noise essentially. If the gameplay loop itself feels satisfying, and honestly, I think we might get a good gameplay loop this year. That's all that matters to me. Good gameplay loop and mechanics that actually work so I can build strategies the way that I like to build strategies and explore. My hope essentially sits in the way the game feels, not these promises that they're giving us. So I just want them to put a little priority into zombies. And I'm not doing this based off of like the way I feel right now, just because Zombies is finally going to be released here shortly. So we get the actually chance to see what it feels like. But I honestly think that with us potentially having 2 years off of Zombies, they might be able to have and put some time into this one. So now I want to talk a little bit about curse mode specifically because I think, and I've been saying it a lot, curse mode could be a big dub, but not in the way that most people think. I am believing that Treyarch might be heading down an unintentional roguelite experience for zombies, which I would love to be able to have. And I would honestly love it if they did more patches and specific changes and structural changes to curse mode. Obviously, we haven't gotten anything just yet, but I would love it if they did to where they really put it more towards a roguelike. We've got these different tier structures of challenging runs where you can level up your tier to have a more challenging run based on the amount of relics that you obtain and that you find. And the runs change from run to run and from relic build to relic build, and then from tier 1 to tier 2 to tier 3. This really feels very roguelite with them releasing some more of that information that we can essentially control how the game feels, especially with our relic builds and our skills. And so we're going to have a whole new layer of strategy in curse mode. I don't really like how they're releasing curse mode at all, but I've got my own thoughts and judgment around how I feel like they should handle curse mode. Like, right, I love the idea of being able to have pistols to start, or um, the 4 perk limits, because we got so many different perks already, and like I like a lot of the ideal old school traditional throwback formulas that they have, and that some of the fans have been begging for. They're bringing it in a different unique way, again, in a seeming roguelike experience, which it seems like there's going to be such a crazy way for this to be taken. I just don't see this in the same fun way as most of the traditional classic mode players see it. I see it as different, right? I, I'm enjoying the fact that there might be safety nets removed from the zombies mode. It is going to make it feel much better. I'm excited for the tension that you can create. I love the ability to create your own challenges. That's one of the major things about our channel, is how do we strategize the best features, and also how do we play with challenges. Like, I love that. And it can bring a different identity to what zombies should be moving forward. Zombies should be dangerous. It should not just be a grinding simulator. And curse mode itself, hopefully not. That is not going to be a grinding simulator. I'm hoping so, right? This also feels like it brings more potential for replayability if it is well balanced around these restrictions that you can add into the game. Like, if it's well balanced around what we can do, if there are some people who can create certain relic builds with challenges, but then get also certain types of rewards as well to that balance, I think it could be such a great manner of having awesome replayability over and over. I don't know yet if there's any way to create a meta relic build that gives you meta, or that gives you negatives, that gives you some sort of positive that is ultra meta that ends up becoming the only way that everybody plays. I pray that something like that does not happen. It's a bit difficult to do that in roguelites, which is why I want them to go down the roguelite path more. But sometimes in roguelites, you do get a certain meta. And I'm hoping that there is enough randomization or enough variability to be able to make that replayability without meta. So let's go ahead and talk about cross-mode progression. I think that the cross-mode progression with campaign, Warzone, multiplayer, and zombies is a cool piece. Being able to have camo grinding and campaign, awesome. I love the fact that they reduced the camo grind a little bit back down to what it was over the last since Black Ops Cold War, where you don't have to get a camo in order to unlock the top mastery camo. Like, you don't have to do a specific challenge for that. If for the record, if you're not familiar, in Black Ops 6 Zombies, after you unlocked all the military camos, you had 2 specialty camos that you had to unlock, which is fine. You have challenges for each of those. That was a cool piece. I'm glad that they brought that back from Modern Warfare Zombie, or from Modern Warfare 3. I'm not sure it was in MW2. I didn't play that game. And then also, then we had 4 mastery camos, but there was also challenges for all 4 of those that were progression locked until you finish the prior one. And that's fine. That's normal. But the top mastery camo, once you got the second to last mastery camo across all weapons, it unlocked the ability for you to unlock the top mastery camo. Unfortunately, there was a challenge associated. Now, once you unlock all of the second to last mastery camos in the game period, you ultimately unlock the top mastery camo for all of the weapons. And you can put that camo on all the weapons. You don't have to do that final last grind. So I'm glad that they're bringing that grind down. That's where it should be. I also love the prestige system. I love the fact that we get to prestige individual weapons all the way up to 250 and get additional camos. I pray that they bring us back weapon XP mastery camos, where in Modern Warfare 3, we had the ability to just get a bunch of weapon XP for one weapon and mastery and get its own mastery camo there. It looked so good. Like the one trick that was like one of the best ones. The one trick camo, such a great weapon camo that you can then put on just that individual weapon. I pray that we get something like that as well. I just feel like if zombies adopt some of these really good pieces, which it sounds like they might go on that. We haven't gotten any specific individual, like just XP based camo information. But we do have it for prestige based. So I pray that we do get just specific XP level stuff as well. So I'm excited about that. We'll talk about some of the other weekly XP and challenge stuff here shortly. I do have to say, just Black Ops 7 in general, not really necessarily Black Ops 7 Zombies particularly, has I feel like a visual step forward as well. The game just looks good. Like at least on the multiplayer side, and so far the campaign side, it just looks fine. Like just the visual direction looks good. I'm not sure if multiplayer players agree with me on the maps, but they look so good, and I would love it if we got Onslaught because the multiplayer maps look so good. I love the visual direction for at least Ashes of the Damned. It looks good. I think the graphical quality is shit, but I think when you just take a second to just look at the map and look at the environment, it just looks good. I think it does. I think they need to still nail the graphical design and how the colors blend into each other and whatnot. Like I really would love there to be just more colors in zombies like there is in multiplayer. We can get that with still having a good atmospheric, artistic feel, but it's a good step in the right direction. And I'm excited to see what the other maps look like. Black Ops 6 Zombies maps, I really like the way that they looked. Again, graphical quality wasn't the best, but the visual design looked amazing for so many of the maps in Black Ops 6 Zombies. So I'm very excited for the way that they're going to look here in Black Ops 7 Zombies. Now, something that a lot of people have been talking about is that, oh my God, Treyarch is actually talking to the community. I was pointing this out on stream the other day. Treyarch has been specifically talking a lot more than I think most people have seen, even last year for Black Ops 6 Zombies. And technically, we got more zombies-related dev talks than we did this year for zombies. We actually had a lot more information last year about zombies. We had an individual, they actually called it intel drops. They actually called them intel drops for Black Ops 6 Zombies. So if you just go to YouTube and search Black Ops 6 intel drops, you're gonna see so many of them on Call of Duty's channel, and they were really good, and they were full of a lot of information. We got an intel drop for individually for both maps. Actually, we got one individually for Terminus, I believe it was. Just an intel drop, just straight up just for Terminus, which we didn't get a dev talk individually just for Ashes of the Damned. We got a lot more information last year. Now, here's why this is in the excited video. So I was talking about this on stream as well. Black Ops 6, let's say it was expected to have a total of 10 experiences, but we only got, let's say, 5. Okay, I'm just using some numbers, but we only got 5. I think we got an additional like 5 or 4 DLCs, but I'm just, right? So only 5 throughout that game. But let's say Black Ops 7 Zombies was also supposed to have 10 experiences as well, right? So between these 2 years, there's gonna be a total of 20 experiences. But in Black Ops 6, if they cut half of those experiences off, and now we're going to Black Ops 7, where we're going to have 10 experiences, well, we've got an extra 5. Here's the thing. I'm just happy that they're not trying to take that extra 5 and put it into the 10 as 15 and slowly give us information on the 15 throughout the year. I'm glad that they're giving us a lot of information about the 5, and then regularly we're going to get information about the 10. So explaining that, I'm happy that they're giving us a lot of information right now about what they already have prepared for us, what the changes and the updates and the buffs and even the nerfs and some of that stuff that we feel like should have just been updates to Black Ops 6. I'm glad that we were told about all these things up front instead of it being slowly released later on. Because if everything went according to that 10 and 10 example, if everything went according to the schedule, right now we would have already had all the updates in Black Ops 6, knowing that we're going into Black Ops 7 with those things. If they had not chopped off the 5 and put it into Black Ops 7, we would already have all 10 of that. So I'm happy that they're not holding off the information, right? It's kind of like a movie. And a movie, when there's a sequel, you already know that there's going to be a sequel. So like, just tell us that there's going to be a sequel and just set it up for that, right? So I'm happy that they're just telling us the 5 information, like have the information that we already have had. Thank you, Treyarch, for doing that instead of just slow dripping that out for whatever reason. That I'm glad that they're doing that. Another thing, I am just generally fired up to cover it. I am extremely excited about the level of content that we're going to be able to make. There's a lot of changes that I'm going to be excited about covering, and I feel like this year I'm going to cover the entire game instead of stopping and choosing to stop come February because the game is completely dead by that point. I feel like there's going to be a lot of reigniting of the community. I feel like there's going to be a lot of people who give it a try that might not be so willing to give it a try normally, but I think most people feel that there's a good game under the bullshit marketing that we're getting right now. Like, there's a good game under the boring mechanics that we're still getting. There's a good game under the same augment system. Like, I feel like whether it succeeds or fails, though, I feel like some of these, like the deep dive analysis that I'm going to do, I'm excited about. The myth busting that I'm going to do, I'm excited about. The theory crafting that we're going to do, I'm excited about, right? And then having some additional features that are new, like some of the modes and things, brings another layer that I'm also excited about. And we're also going to talk about those weekly challenges as well. I'm excited about those. So I'm excited to be able to rebuild our community here on the channel and also just being a part of it again with zombies. I know there's a lot of zombies creators that are just kind of really giving up, but I think there's a good game under a lot of the bullshit that people have been conditioned for. I think there's something in there. It's like in multiplayer right now with SBMM being turned down or off or whatever, there's a good game in there outside of the garbage monetization. There's a good game in there. Another thing I'm pretty excited about by features wise is the addition of an additional minor augment slot. I feel like that's, even though it's a small change, it has a lot of potential, right? The minor augment slot is going to open up to allow us to add an additional minor augment so we can be able to hold 3 augments, 1 major, 2 minors. This is going to be very effective and very fun for us because we get to add a whole new layer of variety in theory crafting. It's going to add this different layer of flexibility without specifically breaking the balance, but makes us feel stronger. I guess, right? Like, I hope we'll feel stronger, and I hope it doesn't break the balance, but it progresses us out further to where maybe the guns and the weapons and our characters feel stronger. And I feel like it lets a lot of the more hardcore players do a little bit more fine-tuned gameplay because of the different structural styles that you can have. I feel like it is going to allow us to also have a lot more content, a lot more videos, instead of me just going through and just making the same exact ones with the information and then strategy. I can do like a little bit of information and a lot of different strategizing where we're able to pair up the combinations together and say, hey, you got 1 major augment of these 2 minors. It's going to be so exciting to be able to have a whole nother layer of exploration through the minor augment slot. I feel like there's such a tiny mechanical change, but that's going to it should make a huge difference in a lot of the gameplay, especially with them not overall nerfing all the augments to retune the balance of the minor augment slot. They did nerf a handful of them. I've got that 2 videos ago, everything updating with like the perks, but I am looking forward to that change of having an additional minor augment. It's going to be a great extra layer. Now, let's talk about these larger round-based maps. I'm actually loving seeing them want to have extremely open and extremely large round-based zombies maps. I love round-based zombies maps being huge. Like Forsaken, I loved Forsaken as a large map. Did I really care so much about the main quest? Not so much. But I love the way that we were able to explore. I hope that they really fully commit to this massive, large scale maps. I don't like the fact that it's not really built as well to do exploration in between POI and POI. Like I would rather it not be major PO. I would rather the POIs be not completely separated. Like when we go back and we look at the one with Valentina on it, I can't think of her name or the name of that map, but that map, when we go back to that one, it had different POIs. It's just that the area to traverse in between hand was open and was still able to be played. So I'm not sure why they've specifically kind of closed that off. Like I get that they wanted to kind of be a challenge in the fog to go from POI to POI, but I'd rather there just be exploration in that instead. And instead, I'd rather that be the case, because then it really feels like the maps are smaller. But again, I know this is supposed to be a positive video, but I just wanted to kind of show that insight. But I do really love the bigger maps because we do get a lot more, hopefully, environmental storytelling. It should add more immersion, and it should add some more replayability. I also wish that we had like 8 players on the map at once, but hey, whatever. So I do see the potential for them to create some really good maps, especially because the maps have been looking really good. And hopefully, you know, we get even better ones, please, with better main quests, please, Treyarch. Next, I want to talk about it because I think one of the most exciting things, or one of the things I'm most excited about, are the weekly challenge structures returning from Modern Warfare 3. Modern Warfare 3's weekly objectives were so good and it gives us so much consistency, so many achievable goals. I love that they're going to be giving us potentially attachments and different rewards every week to come back to, especially if the weekly challenges are actually challenges instead of whatever daily bullshit we have right now. And on top of that, we're going to be getting a camo every 4 weeks if we achieved the weekly challenges as well. That is going to be so good. Like having that back in Call of Duty is so good for replayability, and it's perfect. It's so good because it's going to bring so many people back. It's going to give us an incentive to play in different ways, to have to have those different strategies and challenges again. We get those weekly objectives, and it can have such good long-term player motivation to constantly come back in the game, constantly want to get those universal camos. And I pray that they're also reactive to, like, Treyarch makes some of the best camos and blueprints and such. And I pray that those weekly challenges also have just amazing camos, skins, operators, everything. Like I'm hoping so. I feel like if implemented very well, just like MW3, it's going to be amazing in a Black Ops game. So that's kind of where I want to leave off. Ultimately, like, I do believe that Black Ops 7 Zombies can still be good. There is a good game under there somewhere. I do believe that it can be a genuinely good game despite all the bullshit and blunders that they have been going through and dealing us. I've seen bad campaigns. I've seen these bad betas. I've also seen to where there could be a good game in there. You know, I more than anything, I would rather have the game be not so great at launch and better as time goes on than what we got in Black Ops 6, where the game was fire at launch and it just died out. I feel like it's harder for the community to die than it is to build them up. So even if it's weak upon launch and we build up like Cold War and Modern Warfare Zombies, and we build up, it can build up a very strong player base and have a lot of trust. Coming off of Modern Warfare Zombies was in a decent position, and it gave us a lot of expectations, but also excitement for Black Ops 6 Zombies, only to then be let down the longer we went in, and now people don't trust the launch of Black Ops 7 Zombies. So I would much rather it start off weaker, but they build into it and pour into us, than the opposite of what we got in Black Ops 6 Zombies. I feel like the ingredients are there. I feel like we got great chances for great modes and great replayability. I feel like if they just lean in heavily on the features that we already have instead of trying to cater to multiple different communities, then we're going to have a really good game. Black Ops 7 could be where Treyarch finally stops playing this safe, defensive mode and brings us something really, really rich. if they just lean in to the roguelike experience with curse mode, lean in to very challenging, very hard, very good boss fights or final encounters. Lean in to potentially changing, please, survival mode to onslaught style mode, where it takes so much longer to build up and it's much more difficult. These survival modes, like lean into a lot of these things. Lean in heavily to the weekly challenges system. Lean in heavily to the way the maps look. Lean in heavily to the large. If they just go all in on the few features that they have, we get more depth in the few features. Instead of having to have widespread control, they could be so good. And I know it would be something that you guys would just love. So if you guys are excited or not about Black Ops 7 Zombies, let me know down below. Does my video today encourage you to actually say, you know what? Maybe I am a little bit more excited about this game than I felt like I was before. Or do you feel like something else? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'm so excited to start our live streams and all the strategies, the Camo grind. I'm so excited to do all that stuff with you guys. And if you guys are excited about that too, let me know with a like and a subscribe, ring the notification bell, and you guys are beautiful. God damn it. There's no bloopers. There's no bloopers because I didn't have any bloopers. I did all this, so there's no bloopers. So have a beautiful goddamn day, guys. Bye.